As many assume, it could just be Father Time catching up to LeBron. Some say that he also only had 71 days between the end of the bubble season and this year. When asked about this upcoming offseason, LeBron said, quote, "It's going to work wonders for me. I get like 3 months to recalibrate, get my ankle back to 100% where it was." So, Shannon, how much better do you expect LeBron to be next year with this time?
I expect LeBron to be LeBron. I mean, so let me ask you a question, Skip. How do you make the Mona Lisa better? Do you put eyelashes on her? Does she get these eyelashes now, where she can really,
So you are predicting he's going to be every bit of what he's ever been?
I've seen nothing to show me that LeBron James is not going to be what LeBron James was if he's healthy. And he mentioned that. He says, I want to get my ankle back. So, Skip, I believe a lot. As we start to age, take it from a guy that played a professional sport that started to age, it took me longer to get back after injury. Skip, I could have an injury in my 20s. Hey, and the next week, if I miss the game, come back next week, I still go get you 100 in the tub. But as I started to age, that 100 wasn't 100. It'd be like 50. It might be 40. And it might get you close to the goal line, but I didn't have the oomph to get on over the goal line. I believe LeBron, healthy. This was a fast turnaround. And think about it, Skip, it's not a coincidence. For the most part, only the Nuggets advanced to the second round of the teams that were in the bubble that played in the Western Conference or the NBA Finals.
That's a fair point.
So that was a very, very fast turnaround for those guys. Now, look, I'm not big when it comes to sports and excuses. Having played it, nobody cares. Did you deliver? And the Lakers didn't deliver. But I believe a large part of that had to do with health. I don't think the chemistry with this team, I don't think it blended like the previous team blended. Obviously, they ended up winning a championship, so it's easy to say that was a perfect match. But this, for whatever reason, Skip, it just didn't seem like it fit together. But all that being said, AD and LeBron healthy through the first 27 games was 21 and 26. 21 and 26. They were right on pace to be even as good, if not better, than what they were last year.
No, what were they? You mean they were
21 through the first 27 games this year.
They were
21 and 26.
21 and 6.
21 and 6.
Okay, got it.
21 and 6.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
And then the last half, they were, 23 and 27, something like that, Skip. So for me, I just need LeBron to come back healthy. Now, Skip, he comes back 100%, and I see him not being able to finish around the rim, do things that I saw him do this year. Now, I saw him do it a little bit. We saw him do it a little bit against Golden State. We saw him do it here and there. But if he can't come back and consistently do that, then I'll say, okay, Skip, I'm starting to see what you say you saw last year.
Okay.
This will be year 19. He will be 37 at the end of this year. So some decline is expected. But I still expect him to average, 24, 25 points, 7, maybe not the same level of rebounds. But I do expect him to still get back, be 8, 9 assists.
Okay, so you're going to say that he'll be what % of LeBron at his greatest? When was he at his greatest? Year 7, 8, 9, I don't know, somewhere in there.
I'm going to say he'll be 90%, 85 to 90% of his best.
Okay, LeBron James will be 90% of his greatest next year. That's pretty great. I will give you that. That would be good enough to go win another championship. Yeah. If Anthony Davis can stay healthy, that's probably the biggest if I've ever uttered on this show.
Right.
But if he can, and they mix and match a new group around
there will be a
whole new sport. We're going to talk about that a little later in the show. Who should stay and who should go. Maybe a bunch of them should go.
Yeah.
And match as effectively as they did 2 years ago when it was Danny Green and Dwight and JaVale and, the supporting cast around, and it clicked and it worked in the bubble, right?
Yep.
If you can do that, you're saying that LeBron will be 90%, and that would be good enough to, you might even be the favorite. I don't know. You'll be up there.
They'll be definitely. AD comes back, LeBron comes back, and depending on who they're going to be top 3. Brooklyn probably be the favorite, prohibitive favorites.
Okay.
Maybe Milwaukee will be up in that mix also. Utah.
Okay. So back to your Mona Lisa analogy that you began with. I'm going to remind you, she does not age. She hasn't aged 1 second since she was finished.
But I just ask you, she's perfection.
Okay, she is perfection, and she has the most mysterious smile in the history of painting.
Is it a smile
right?
or is it a smirk?
I don't know. That's the question. Okay, you got me. And I can't remember what year she was painted, but she's hundreds of years old,
yes.
and she hasn't aged a second.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like the picture of Dorian Gray. Do you know that one?
Yeah,
where you stay young forever because you become old in the picture. But the point here is, LeBron doesn't have a picture of Dorian Gray up in his closet in his Malibu house or wherever where he can stay younger because he's going to age some.
Right.
And so now I ask the ultimate question about what we just witnessed in those 6 games. Was it the ankle or was it father time?
Maybe
it's as simple as that.
Maybe it was a combination of both. But let me ask you this, Skip. Do you believe they will have another condensed season where they're playing this many games?
I give you that. I give you that. It was tough,
yes.
especially for a human who's in year 18 in this league, especially for a human who's played more playoff minutes than anybody's ever played.
Right.
Especially for a human who's played way more games and minutes than Michael Jordan played.
Hey, Skip, we've never seen a superstar go into the playoffs coming off a significant injury like he had.
Yep.
So, and the expectations. So even when Michael missed all those games with that broken foot, there was no level of expectation. No one expected him to beat the Celtics. No one expected him as an 8 seed to go on. I think what happens is LeBron James has so high of expectations that anything that if he doesn't accomplish the goal, people feel let down. That just goes to show you, Skip. Here's a 7th seed they were the second favorite to Vegas of winning the title. That's what people think of him. That's what Vegas thinks of him.
All right, I got it. The ankle was turned, thanks to Solomon Hill, on Saturday afternoon, March 20th, right?
Yeah.
It's a pretty good ways back that happened. And I still say, speaking of mysterious, LeBron popped right up, as he always did, from that ankle turn, and he walked it off, and then he started to play again. And I saw him with my own 2 eyes. He went down, camped in the corner, caught a pass, and made a 3. And I saw him actually trot up floor to play defense until he crossed half court, and then he turned to the bench and said, I don't know if I can do this or not.
Skip,
and that was the end of it.
You remember we saw AD? We saw AD try to come back with that groin, with his knee. The adrenaline is flowing. And take it for somebody that had an injury in a game and tried to play, it's hard. I mean, you're like, okay, I'm good. And then you realize, nah, I sprained my MCL in the Super Bowl. Greek, tape it up. Let me go. Man, I went out there and planted, and that thing, I was like, I'm done for the day. So you're going to try it, Skip. I mean, it's only natural that you try it. Let me see because so many times, what have we seen him do? Tighten his shoe up and go back out there.
I mean, dozens of times I've seen it. Even in the bubble in the finals, he turned it one night in like game 2, and I said, uh-oh, that's big trouble. Nope, shook it right off. So, walked it off, played. This
is what we know, Skip. In the games that LeBron James played this season, the Lakers were 30 and 15. In the games that he didn't play, they were 12 and 15. That's everything else. I don't like to do speculation. I don't like to do conjecture or innuendo. But this is what we know for fact.
Okay.
The game that we played, he was 15 games over 500. In the games that he didn't play, they were 3 games under.
And this is what I know for a fact. Without Anthony Davis versus playoff teams this year, LeBron James was 1-8. Yikes.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
1-8.
Okay, let's do this. What do you think Giannis' record would be without Chris Middleton and True Holiday against playoff teams? So we're going to take all the superstars.
I don't put Giannis in LeBron's category.
The way I look at it, maybe over history, but they're all considered superstars. And this is why yesterday my critique of Kawhi, if you say he's a superstar, he should get criticized and critiqued like superstars, like a KD. So if you take...
anybody criticize Kawhi Leonard more than I?
No, me. I have. But let me ask you a question, Skip. If I take James Harden and Kyrie away from Kevin Durant, how far do you think Kevin Durant's going to lead the Nets?
I don't know. With the depth on that team, they'd go a ways.
They get swept by Milwaukee. Guarantee it.
No.
You say, hold on. Without Kyrie and James Harden, you believe Kevin Durant would lead the Nets past Milwaukee? You out your mind. All of it.
He's another one of those guys I don't bet against in big moments.
He couldn't lead out the Western Conference. He got out the Western Conference 12 without Steph and Clay. He had Russ.
That was the problem. He had Russ.
Oh, my goodness. So, see, Russ get blamed for everything.
Well, I blamed him from the start for that one. That's why Kevin won it out. I can't decision maker. He dribbles it up the floor every time. What do we just see from Russ? what just happened against the Sixers. In those last couple of games, they had chances. He was 3 for 19, and then he just turns it over.
Yeah.
Okay, he's just hard to sort of live with. Fun to watch, hard to live
But
with.
Skip, this notion, if you think about it, Skip,